Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And I want to do the teaching thing. I want you to repeat it after me. Will you do that? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Okay, that was good. I want you to repeat it, but I want you to do it a bit different. My life begins at the end of my comfort zone. Shall we do that? 1, 2, 3. My life begins at the end of my comfort zone. I wonder if you believe it. In the reading part, the gospel lesson, we read the part of Peter. Now, Peter was, wherever there was a storm, Peter was there. And he was in the storm. And we read about the episode where the disciples saw Jesus coming on the lake, walking on the lake. And then the whole episode where Peter wanted to get also out of the boat, walking on the lake. It's a remarkable story. And when I read this story, I thought of this little quote. I think Peter's life began at the end of his comfort zone, right there and then. So I would like to talk to you about that, focusing on Peter's episode in Matthew as we've read it. I would like to begin with the opening story. It was told of a spy that was captured and sentenced to death in the Persian army. And before carrying out the sentence, before putting him in front of the firing squad, this one general who had authority there, he told the spy that he had a choice. He had a choice between the firing squad. He said, there's the firing squad. You have the choice standing there, or over there is a black door. You can choose either the firing squad or the black door. Well, after much deliberation, the spy chose the firing squad. And of course, within a few moments, he was dead. The general then turned to one of the soldiers or his officers and said, well, they always prefer the known way to the unknown. So the officer asked him, what's behind the black door? Freedom. Freedom. You see, behind the black door, there's a passageway that leads outside, but only a few have been brave enough to see what was behind it. Comfort zones. We all have them. We do tend to like our comfort zones. Sometimes our comfort zones imprison us. But we like comfort zones, don't we? You see, we are surrounded by our comfort zones, those invisible barriers that make us feel cozy and secure. Comfort zones usually develop after we have done things a particular way for a period of time. And I find myself, the older I get, the more I like comfort zones. I don't like change. Well, somebody said, The only people who do like change are babies with dirty diapers. You see, sometimes it's easier to keep on doing things the same way over and over than to make any major adjustment to our lives. Well, comfort zones are not really all bad. They make us feel secure. They make us feel safe. Well, healthy security is good. Healthy security that we find in loving relationships, in a loving home, warm friendships, an enjoyable career, good church relationship, and all of that, that's good. But sometimes, and just sometimes, our comfort zones become our prisons. You see, a prisoner doesn't have to worry about house payments, where the next meal is coming from. A prisoner doesn't have to worry about many things. It can become our prison. It can even become a coffin. They say that crabs, the way that a crab grows is by growing inside his shell, and then he breaks out. And the time of breaking out is a time of much growth. And then he grows into another shell, and then eventually breaks out, grow. And it continued to grow as long as it dares to break out of its shell. Then they say the last shell of the crab becomes his coffin. The comfort zone. Back to Peter. In Matthew 14, we get this beautiful story. And there's much debate going on if Jesus really walked on water and if that was really a miracle or not. For me, the real miracle, was Peter getting out of the boat. You see, to get out of the boat right into a stormy sea, well, that was really something. We sometimes concentrate on the things on the side, but that was really, for me, something profound. And when Peter had come down out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. You see, for Peter, it was breaking out of the safe net of that boat. And yes, any scientist will tell you that water will not support the weight of a person who tries to stand on it. You can try it. Peter forgot all about his science class. He thought, if Jesus is on the water, well, then I should be able to do that as well. I think the lesson that Jesus wanted to teach Peter was not really if his science teacher was right or wrong. I think he wanted to teach Peter, your life from here on will be a life out of your comfort zone. Peter, the life that I've got for you is not a comfort zone. It's not a boat life. It's not in the shell life. Peter, from here on, you will have a life of challenges. A bit uncomfortable, but so adventurous. A life you don't want to miss for anything in the world. Why do we continue to stay in the boat? There are three things that I would like to mention. The first, We do not like criticism. We fear criticism. What will the other disciples think of me if I get out of the boat? Well, Peter, who cares? You see, the biggest critics are always those in the boat, not out of the boat. The second, the fear of failure. Well, Peter was quite used to failures, don't you think? What if it doesn't work? You see, many people don't ever try to break out of their comfort zones because they think if they fail, people will make fun of them. So to avoid the potential for embarrassment, they do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Somebody said, I had rather to fail trying to do something than to succeed at doing nothing. You see, failure is not falling down. Failure is staying down when you could get up back. So, there are such a lot of good failures in the history. The baseball player, baseball star, Babe Ruth, set a record of 714 home runs in his baseball career. Well, how many people know that he struck out 1,330 times on his way to that record? Jonas Salk discovered the polio vaccine, but he failed 200 times before he found the right one. Michael Jordan, you all know him, is probably the greatest basketball player of all time. Well, he was cut from his high school basketball team. You know the Beatles, don't you? Well, they failed their first record or their first attempt to make a record. The rest is history. Henry Ford went bankrupt 5 times. Bankrupt, totally. Thomas Edison, he failed, well, not once, not twice, 10,000 times. 10,000 times in his attempts to find the right filament for the light bulb. And when somebody asked him, why don't you just quit? He said, why quit now? You see, their fears could have been their prisons. The third one, the fear of the unknown. I wonder what's going to happen to me if I step out of the boat. You see, fear of the unknown keeps a lot of people in the boat. You see, we as humans, we tend to want to know what we're getting into before we're getting out of the boat. Well, brothers and sisters, Peter got out of the boat. Peter heard the challenge of Christ. Lord, if it's you, tell me to do this. If it's you, on your command, on your word, I will step out of this boat. 12 men walked on the moon. Only one on water. That's Peter. You see, brother and sister, God allows us our comfort zones. Comfort zones, nothing wrong with that. But He also challenges us. And at times, He commands us. At times, He pushes us out of our comfort zones. Ask Abraham. Ask Moses. Ask Jonah. Ask David. Ask Elijah. Ask Jeremiah. Paul. Everyone who has achieved something big for God was pushed or challenged out of his or her comfort zone. Maybe you're there. And there's a roaring sea around you. Maybe you're in the boat. The comfort zone is getting very narrow. And you know, somehow I have to get out of this comfort zone. I can stay here, or I can get out on the command of God. God has a new way for you, a new path for you. I would like to end with a parable. It's a beautiful parable of candles that I read. It is said of a man, one evening there was a blackout, and when the lights got out, he fumbled into the closet where he keep the candles, and he lit 4 of them. There were 4 candles. He lit 4 of them. And when he tried to take the candle out into the darkness, the one candle said to him, the candle started talking, and the candle said to him, "You can't take me out of here." He asked, "Why? You're a candle. Your job is to give light." The candle says, "No, I'm not ready. I need more preparation. I need to do more research on this light thing." He said, "Okay, I've got 3 more candles." Took the second one. The second one started talking, and the second one said to him, "Well, I'm busy. I'm meditating on the importance of light. You cannot take me out in the darkness." Puts him back. So the third one. And the third one says, no, you cannot take me out of the closet. You cannot take me into the darkness. I'm not stable enough. My life is not yet together. I've got such a lot of things that I still want to get together. The last one. The man thought, oh, this might be the one that I can take out in the darkness. And the fourth one said to him, no, I'm a singer. I'm an encourager. And she starts to sing, "This Little Light of Mine." I like to sing to the other candles. And the darkness remained. You see, brothers and sisters, in the closet, it's safe. A candle is not made for a closet. Candles are made for darkness. Candles are not made for closets. You're not made for a closet. You're made to fulfill your task somewhere out there. So, maybe there's a change coming into your life. Maybe you're on the brink of some change, some changes, and you fear. You're frightful. You're terrified. Just remember, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. It did for Peter. It could for you. Amen.